Thank you everyone for coming. Can you all see this screen? Yeah. If you don't have the app, you can use that QR code and download it. And then you can join us as we make our way through the slides. We're going to start with what's new, and then we're going to look at downloading the app again. Make sure you do that. You need to have it, or else this isn't going to make any sense. Then there are 4 different dashboards at the bottom of the app. We're going to run through each of those, and we're going to do a little test, and you can ask any questions. Self-test is great because you can save 90 minutes of labor time. So this automates the testing, which is required for AFSS, which means that every 6 months you save 90 minutes of labor time. And because you're doing it through an app, you don't need to have a test switch. So you save money installing, and you have the history of all your AFSS test reports saved on the app. Plus you get a 5-year warranty with self-test. There are a couple of new features. Wireless result collection. So that's where you press scan and the results will come in via Bluetooth to your phone. Then exporting a result as a PDF or a CSV. So once you've collected the results, you press one button and then you get your results as a PDF or a Excel file. And also you can see all of your assets on a floor plan. Okay, so nobody's joined late, but that's okay. If you still don't have the app, here's the QR code again. You might be wondering, is it compliant to not have a test switch and to be saving 90 minutes every 6 months? Well, in the Australian guidelines for exit and emergency lighting, which is AS 2293, it says, testing facilities shall be provided for conducting a discharge test on all emergency luminaires and exit signs without necessitating disconnection of supply to the normal lighting. This just means that when the emergency lights are being tested, the normal lighting should be unaffected. So when a self-test light turns on to test itself, so let's say you schedule it at 10 p.m. and the lights are on in the hallway, the self-testing lights will turn on and the normal lights will just stay on. It doesn't affect them at all. Such facilities shall be either manually operated or automatically operated. So how's it automatic? So that's in the standard. And then further along in 2293.3, in section 4.5, which is about self-contained automatic discharge test facilities, the test facility shall not interfere with the capability of the emergency luminaire or exit sign to operate correctly in response to loss of the normal power. So what that means is that when the test is happening, if there's a power outage, the lights will stay on. So your test time is at 10 o'clock, there's a fire at 10:30, so we're only halfway through the 90-minute test. The lights will stay on from 9:30 onwards until the issue is fixed or the battery runs flat. If you have any other questions, you can check it out on the Elumen documents and downloads page, which is there. It's just the Elumen website/docs. First things first, we're going to create a site. So just let me share my screen. My phone should be being shared. Can you all see that? Yeah, okay. From the site screen, oh, somebody's just joined. If you have any questions, just pop them in the chat. We are just running through creating a site. So if you've got the app open, that's a good start, but you can just watch what's happening for the moment. And you can ask questions at the end as well, if you don't want to interrupt me. So we're going to create new site, which is up here at the top. And then we search for our address. And we can create a new site. Now, if there's already an existing site at that location, you can see whether or not it's your site. So let's say there's a number of small shops in one address. So you can see here, not the same site, not the same site. Now, for this test purpose, I'm just going to say it's not the same. And we will create a new test site. Otherwise, you have to ask for permission. We'll get to that, giving permission to access the site soon. Floor plans we can set up now and take a photo of our floor plans, but we'll skip that too. If I'm the admin of a site and I want to give access to my colleague, what I do is on the phone, I come over to users and I press this invite button. Now, do we have a volunteer that would like to give me their email address and I can add you to the site and you can verify what I'm doing because you will be able to see everything that I can see. Otherwise, it's okay. You just have to trust me. Anyway, I would put in the email here and we would see like all my colleagues listed here if there was a team, say it was a big site. From this site dashboard, we can see that there are 4 different options at the top. So the summary just gives a summary of your site. Floors, you can see the floor plans. Users, that's everybody that has access to the site. And audit is a history of all the tests that have happened in the past. So this is a new site, so there's nothing yet. In terms of permissions, admins have the most permissions. And then write can do everything that read can do and write can do, and read can only do what's in this read list. All right, so now we'll move over to the commissioning dashboard. It looks complicated, but it's really, once you know it, it's not that bad. So the slide just gives an overview of everything that you can do from the commission dashboard. I have a sunrise plugged in here. So if I go over to the commission dashboard down the bottom and swipe down, like so, I can see everything nearby. So there's multiple things here. If I press identify, the top thing is the closest thing to me. So it should be this sunrise right here, and there you go. I can see that it is. What I can do is to add it to my site, I go actions, add, and then I click floor. Now it comes up, add a new building. So a site has buildings and those buildings have floors. So this site here, this is floor number 1 and there's only one building. So I'll call it office. And this is floor 1, level 1. And what I can do is take a photo of the floor plan here. This might be an evacuation diagram on the wall, for example, and I can create this site. Add this sunrise onto the floor plan. So it is sort of in the corner here and say on the table. Add device and it's commissioned. That's it. Going back to the slides, can you see the slides? This is what we've just gone through. So from the commission dashboard, just actions and then add, and it walks you through it. Floor plans, again, if you haven't set that up in the beginning, I press skip. You can set it up again once you start commissioning devices. And I can commission other devices to that same floor plan, which I will do. I will commission a second sunrise shortly, right now. So let's say that this sunrise is broken. It says lamp failure, test failed, right? What do we do? Okay, so I go, which one is it? Let's say I've got 30 sunrises. This one is the one with the lamp failure. I come along with the new one after the warranty runs out. So in 6 years' time, I unplug my old one, plug in my new one. Oh yeah, a little hint. On the driver pack, there's a little button. Let's turn that off. All right, we can see here, this one's starting to light up. Now back on the app, if I refresh, hello, you're early, but that's okay. You can sit in for 10 minutes if you want, or I'm late. Alex is here to ask, to answer any questions that you have. So I can see here this uncommissioned device, and I will now add it. I will replace the old device. So in actions, replace, I can see on my asset list, well, there's only one sunrise, but if I wanted to, I could search the name of the device and find the exact one. And you can see here, this is where it's pinned. Now, let's just say it's being discarded, and now that's replaced. So this is, it has the same location information as the old one. So if I go into this floor plan, I will be able to see the device on in the same location. So that's replacing a device. Now, removing a device, if I wanted to remove it, it's just actions remove, and then that will remove the location information, everything from the site. Now, when you first install it, you probably want to do a full test. So let's just say I've just installed this. I want to do a 120-minute test. Ooh, let me just share my screen again. So I'll go actions, full test. Now it's just been plugged in. It's only been charging for 2 minutes. It's not going to make the 90-minute test. But I can just schedule that in. So as soon as the battery's charged, it will test itself. We can also do a quick test just to check that the battery's working. If we change a quickie pack on a Bondi, you just might want to check that that's what's fixed the issue. And we can also schedule tests. So I go to actions, settings, I can see the next test time and when that test will happen. For self-test sites, that's done on the phone. For sites that are networking, that's done on Plexus. We can also see the auto lockout time, which is just like, so nobody else can access and change the settings on your devices. For the sunrises, you can change the brightness. You can say the template. So let's say you have a beacon sensor on a Bondi and like an occupancy sensor on one of our battens, and you want the light to stay on for 10 seconds every time someone walks past it. You can save that as a template and apply it to all the other battens quickly using the template feature. And then again, setting that schedule. All right, now the cool part. Collecting the results, what we do is we go over to test down the bottom. create a new test log, select the reason, maybe it's for AFSS. So I will pick ad hoc test, create, and then scan, and anything nearby will get picked up. So there's only one, so it's already complete. But that's it. Stop scanning, finalize report. Now this one, we haven't tested it yet because it's brand new, but we can still get a PDF of the report. And I can share that, or I can just have a look at it. Also, the little flashing lights, if it's blinking slowly, it means it's passed. If it's blinking quickly, it means it's failed. And if it's steady, it means it did pass just 30 days ago. In the standard, it has to be less than 30 days since passing a test. Now, yeah, so that export button, that will come up with a PDF similar to this here on the slides, as you can see. And that can just be shared. All right. That's basically it. Just a little quiz. How would you test a small site with only one fitting? Does anybody want to answer?
Andy replied with quick test.
Quick test is not how you would test a small site. You would test it using the test dashboard, just like any other site. Doesn't matter how big the site is. You just press test. All right. Another question. How many sites are on this image? Does anybody want to hazard a guess? How many sites? I will give you the answer. There's one site. 2 buildings on one side. How do you get a site with 2 towers and 100 lights to test at the same time? Anyone want to take a guess? Okay. The answer is you create a template with the first light and apply it to the other 99. And then they will all test at the same time. So now if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we will answer them. Thanks for coming anyway. Very quiet chat. Thanks for leaving your response in the chat. That's the final question. You are free to go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer the question. Do we still need a test switch?
No, we do not need a test switch.
We do need a test switch.